Marhaba and how's it going, everyone? And welcome back to Yuwab. Yuwab is all about self awareness. We really don't rush into new tools or resources, but in Yuwab, we focus on you specifically. Because knowing yourself is key to shape how you lead, how you live, and anything in between. And I really want to be part of that. I'm your host, Saeed Alghafri. If this is the first time with us, thank you so much for joining. And for my usual guests, I'm really genuine and grateful that you're here. Before we start, if you haven't rated Yuwab on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or YouTube, I ask that you do it right now. It should only take you a few seconds. You know why this is important? It doesn't cost you anything. It's just free. And it means a lot to me. And as we grow our show and reach more people, it means that we spread Yuwab's purpose, and that's unlocking more potential. Today, I want to talk about something most leaders fall into. It's very much of a trap. It's not really making another strategy or a weak execution, or maybe that bad recruitments that you've done. It's something almost no one would say it to you in your face. And that is the need to be liked or maybe loved for someone. Not respected, not trusted, but liked. And there is a very important difference. And today we're going to get into exactly that, the difference and what it really cost you. Before we dive in, let me be clear about something from the start. Wanting to be liked is very much a human thing. It's very much normal. There is nothing wrong with caring about how people feel around you. But when the need to be liked starts to drive your decisions as a human at home or a leader at work, you know what really happens. You feel that disconnection between yourself and what you believe in and everything that you externally face. You see yourself softening feedback that needs to be very much direct because you don't want the other person to feel very bad. You see yourself avoiding difficult conversations for weeks because you don't want to damage the relationship that you are in right now. You see yourself agreeing in the room and very much quietly walk away, and later you would back out because saying no feels very much uncomfortable in that specific moment. And you know that your son or daughter is doing something wrong, and you let it happen because saying otherwise would make you the not so nice person. Every single one of these decisions feels like a compassion in that specific moment, but it's not really compassion. It's very much avoidance. And the people around you, trust me, very much know that. And the ones you're trying to protect at that specific moment feels the difference. Let me emphasize on something which is an exception to what we're going to talk about today. Some of us are very much lazy and wanting to leave the office very much early. And they say yes to everything that comes into their mind or into their table, the decision, they say yes. These kind of people who call themselves leaders, they are really not. Eventually, that environment would basically become very much competitive, and you will see them exiting. And that's basically an exclusion of what we're going to talk about today. You know why this is important? Over time, you eventually, in some specific moments or periods in time, you become very much kind of an approval-seeking leader. And that's normal. It happens, especially when you miss out something over there. You know what happened in these specific periods? I'm not saying that this happens all the time. Your team members will be like, yeah, but my managers approved this. And another team member will be like, yeah, but he or she also approved that. You know what that creates? It creates that confusion. And the people will be like, what do they really want us to do? Others may say, oh, but this manager prefers this person over me. You know, this happens basically in team members. And eventually, you see these boundaries lost on who is the leader and who's not. The team very much depends on their attention, you know, And sometimes it could be very much damaging that team integrity. Team members would feel very much unsafe and they can't really very much grow because all of us want to join a team where we can contribute, add value, and also grow. And they won't feel very much managed. This usually results into team losing any accountability, no trust in yourself, and the leader and the team members will have no confidence that you can support them. And you know what? The same is very much applicable on families. Those approval seeking parents, you know what that means? It means stepping on parents' territories, and which leads to no discipline and no guidelines or guidance. And that's basically what we are aspiring for as parents. And let's go back to that approval seeking leader. You know, on the surface, it seems like these people are having the warmest team culture. And for the families who have those approval seeking parents, they're like, oh, but my kids are my friends. But underneath, you see very much a confusion of who's who because harmony is not the same as health. And a team member or a kid never hears the truth and can't become what they want to be becoming. Here are a few life examples of what being nice looks like. Imagine that leader who ends every difficult meeting with no decision but a joke because they really cannot sit in that discomfort of having to deliver hard news to the team. Or that person who says yes to everything, not because they want to, but to look and sounds nice. Or that CEO who lets a toxic high performer stays because they deliver results and confronting them would feel like too much to them. Or that director who changes their position in a meeting at that moment because they do sense that the room is pushing back. And not because they were wrong, because disagreement feels very much personal. You know, all these examples, it just tells you that really nice is not a leadership and it's not a compliment. It's very much a warning sign that you really have to look after. Here are some real life stories that I have encountered with being nice. The first story is about a person that I worked with. You know, I know this guy very well from the market. He has great reputation when it comes to, let's say, knowledge and making changes in organization. When that person joined, I remember I invited him for coffee. I said, "Hey, let's basically have a cup of coffee and talk." And we agreed at the end, after exchanging so much information, to meet after a week because I wanted to see what this person want to do. A week passes. We meet and I could really sense some change in his tone. His plan was exactly what we needed, but he wasn't very much confident. This guy presented the plan to a wider audience. And then, to really my surprise, I was like, what's really happening with him? He has been adjusting everything, especially to two people. And I'm like, why are you doing this? This is not how it should be. And honestly, I was like, I told him, did you really believe in what they said? He said, no. And I'm like, okay, why did you then change? And the guy started to say, but Saeed, I really like to include everyone's opinion. And I'm like, all right, no problem, man. He started executing, and there was very little progress. And what happened after that was just chaos. More adjustments came because even a wider audience gave feedback. And the answer was we should accommodate. 6 months passed, very little progress again. And guess what happened to the wider organization, wider audience? Everyone got frustrated. Everyone got confused. And all of them wanted to see results. Can you imagine? This guy's team were like, listen, man, what exactly do you want us to do? We are so much confused every time you come with a new requirement. And then the whole, track list got lost, honestly. And then guess what happened after that? The usual stuff. Blame started to happen. Oh, it's not my fault. These guys ask us to include this. And I'm like, come on, man. If you have been more firmer, none of this would happen. None of this would happen. But the guy's problem was he was very much accommodating every feedback because he didn't want to basically upset people. And the result, the whole project was stopped and this person left. Not because this guy was incompetent, but this person's problem was accommodating everyone. And honestly, every time I see this guy, deep inside, I was saying, oh, it's the yes person again. He would say yes to everything, honestly. Let me share with you another story. This is a guy who used to work for me directly long time ago, but then I stepped up and then I had people reporting to me and he was reporting to them. So he was very much, there was a layer between me and him. The guy is very much a hard worker and he was someone I would very much depend on. He knows my management style. He knows me very well. One day, he knocked on my door and I was like, what's happening, my friend? And deep inside, I'm like, why is he coming to me directly? Because it's been a while since he knocked my door. And honestly, I was very much busy with so many things, honestly, going into my mind. But I was like, let me see what exactly this guy wanted to talk about. Why? Because he seemed very much eager and very much depressed, honestly, on who should I talk to now. So he was like, sir, I would like your advice on this project that I'm working on. All right. And I'm like, isn't this what your manager role should be? But again, I was like, okay, I listened. I'm like, okay, what is that project? He explained to me this is what we need to do and all that. To be honest with you, the guy did a good job. It wasn't like bad. It was a good job. But if we have done it, we would land in a disaster because that was not what we should focus on. So I reviewed it with him, gave him some comment, gave him some feedback, some suggestions, and then I was like, all right. He said, perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Then I asked him a question. I couldn't really hold it to myself. And I told him openly, isn't this what your manager should do? And he was like, you know what, sir? With this new manager, we haven't been really challenged. We're not used to that. He says yes to everything without even reviewing. And we reach a point where we have doubts that did we do a good job or not? It feels very much heavy on us. Now, other people would say, whoa, you're lucky to have this person because he's making your life so easy, you know? But they don't know the struggle that we go through. Very nice guy though, but not supportive at all when we need this person. And this person just kept going, and very much got emotional, honestly. I'll be completely honest with you. For a gentleman, very much emotional. On missing out days with his family, because they knew that if they don't do the job, review it among themselves, they'll be blamed for that bad job. And that's basically non-negotiable when it comes to corporate, naturally. Now, this was also the opinion of the two other people who felt very much drained and very much not supported, but they didn't want to basically open it up with me. You know what happened? This guy ended up leaving, and I honestly could not really stop him. I wanted him to stay. Very knowledgeable guy, and I'm sure he's doing fantastic today. And I'm very grateful that he spoke to me in that moment. What happened to his manager was even very much the same. He ended up leaving because he wasn't very much competent. You see how the examples between the two stories, how this yes man affected the team and how that yes man affected the whole organization. It just tells you that sometimes being too nice is not really good. Let me now leave you with three key principles to guide you to be a true supportive leader and not a people pleasing manager. The first thing is separate care from comfort. Genuinely care about someone. Really, it means a lot to them. It means that you're investing in their growth and not very much protecting them from areas where they need to improve. Every uncomfortable moment, that's the moment of growth. And the most caring thing a leader can do out there is telling clearly the truth, kindly and early enough so that the person can adjust and not soften it in a way where it is very much disappearing. And ask yourself before every feedback you give in a conversation, are you saying it to this person because they want to hear it, or are you saying it because it's uncomfortable and it will help them grow? Always ask yourself this question. The second thing is get comfortable with temporary discomfort. Listen, you are going to make people uncomfortable. It's honestly a fact of life. And it's always not going to be gloomy because people want your wisdom. The difficult conversations that feels awful in that moment almost produces a better outcome than avoiding it. And approval seeking leaders adjust to what that room feels right now. On the other hand, effective leaders, they adjust to where the team need to be in the next 6 months from now. Really train yourself to stay in that discomfort a little longer. It's very much worth that resistance. And trust me, your team will understand, maybe not immediately, but eventually they will know that you've been there for them. The third thing is measure yourself by the outcome, not by the reactions. After a difficult conversations, the question is not did they leave the room happy? The question is did they leave with something true and useful that they can act on? Respect is very much built over time through honest conversation and very much consistency. Likability is built in a moment through accommodating what that person wants. Choose the one that actually serves the people that you lead. And as we come to the end of today's episode, I'd like you to reflect on these questions. The first question is there a conversation you've been avoiding because of how it might affect someone that sees you the way you are? The second question is, think about the last piece of feedback you gave. Was it the full truth or a comfortable version of it? The third question is, with the people you lead today, or maybe before, describe you as someone they can come to with a real problem or someone who makes things feel smooth. The fourth question is, where in your leadership are you optimizing for being liked at the cost of being honest? Sit with these questions because the answers, though difficult or challenging, are the answer for you to be more of a supportive leader. Let me tell you what I've learned. The leaders who genuinely change people's lives are rarely the ones who were the easiest to work for. They are the ones who told the truth when it mattered. And they are the one who held people to a standard and accountability. And they are the one who cared enough to be uncomfortable on someone else's behalf. Being liked is a pleasant, but being trusted is very much powerful. And being the leader who tells the truth even when it costs you something, discomfort, in the short term is what builds the kinds of respect that really last. You don't have to choose between being warm and being honest. The best leaders carry both. But when they are in tension, they choose honestly every time. And as we come to a conclusion, I want to leave you with this today. If everyone in your team thinks that you're great, ask yourself whether they actually know you very much enough to disagree with you or they're just being nice with you. Because real trust is not built by making people comfortable, it's built by being honest, by being consistent, and really caring enough about someone's else growth. And that's basically what leaders do. All right? As always, I would appreciate that you rate this episode and Yuwab podcast. And don't forget to share and like this episode. Someone out there needs this reminder. I'm 100% sure about that. Thank you so much for being with me. And until next time, lead with honesty and lead with your heart. مع السلامة.